But anyway, this is the Ace Basin National Wildlife Refuge, and we're a federal agency, and we're one of over 500 national wildlife refuges scattered throughout the United States, Alaska, Hawaii, and we're just one of those 500. So we're going to look at some of our habitat today, and some of the way we go about managing the refuge and what we manage for. Endangered species, waterfowl, shorebirds, wading birds, and we do get a little public use. We're a sister agency to the U.S. Park Service. Of course, they're in the people business. We're in the wildlife business. And Park Service manages land also, but they don't manage intensively like we do for the wildlife. They just, whatever's there is there usually, and they go with the program. So, first thing, if you want to walk up to our office, we'll do a little overview there, and you can ask some questions. And we've got a little 12-minute video that's a good orientation to the refuge and how we fit into the larger picture here in the Ace Basin project. We're just like 12,000 acres out of over 350,000 acres that we work with partnerships on. So we go up and take a look at the video and ask some questions, and then we'll hit the trail and go out and look at some habitat and some of the way we manage.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
12,000 acres. This refuge. This tract we're on here is 1,950 acres, and we purchased it from Mr. Hendricks, who was the former owner, and the Chahasi Island, which is to our east or northeast, is about 4,500 acres. It's an island. It's accessible only by water, and we've got around 6,000 acres on the Cumbie River, some on either side of the Cumbie River, some in Cotton County, some in Beaufort County. Like I said, we're about 12,000 acres out of the total Ace Basin project. Our refuge is called the Ace Basin National Wildlife Refuge, and we're part of a larger concept called the Ace Basin Project, which is over 350,000 acres. And our other partners are Department of Natural Resources, South Carolina DNR, the Nature Conservancy, Ducks Unlimited, a lot of the Open Land Trust, and did I mention Ducks Unlimited? They do a lot of the conservation easements. Us and Department of Natural Resources, we have Bear Island Wildlife Management Area just across the river, and they have Donnelly Wildlife Management Area. And we actually manage the properties. A lot of the other partners are active in conservation easements and that sort of thing. A lot of the land that isn't owned outright by a wildlife management agency like us or the state, they use conservation easements to protect those properties. And we got started in like the early 90s here, and the whole concept was that this area was so rich in a lot of the cultural and natural resources that we wanted to protect it. And a lot of the different cooperators that came together for that concept. And that's pretty much what we do, is we're trying to protect a lot of the natural resources that we were blessed to have in this area, and it lasted down through the ages. A lot of the properties were owned by plantations in large tracts, and most of those areas were passed down from generation to generation in the family. And in recent times, the possibility of those properties being divided up, subdivided, developed, were such that these partners came together, and through outright ownership and through conservation easements, where property owners agree on certain things that they can and can't do on their property, and they get tax breaks for putting their property under conservation easement. But it's a way of them still owning the property, but yet it's still protected, and it's not going to be subdivided or misused.
That doesn't mean they can't build 1, 2, 3 of some number of houses, whatever's agreed upon.
Right, they still have hunting rights and fishing rights, and it depends on the way you write up the conservation easement, but and it still is passed down in that family.
Out of the 350,000 acres, how many what percent is private ownership? Because that's a big part of it.
Probably,
Is it half?
oh yeah, much more than half, yeah.
Private ownership.
Yeah. It's large plantations. Most of the large plantations in this Ace Basin area are under conservation easements.
How much does Hugh Lane and his brother own down the way?
Land-wise, I'm not sure how many acres they own, but yeah, some of our neighbors here are very instrumental in some of the first partners in the Ace Basin project. As a matter of fact, Mr. Hugh Lane and Charles was the chairman of the Ace Basin project for years, and I think he turned it over to somebody else for a couple of years, and now I think he's back in that position. But, yeah, a lot of the land is protected through the easements rather than direct purchase. Like we came in, the federal government came into this concept under the notion that we weren't going to condemn any properties. We would only buy from willing sellers, and our primary thrust was toward purchase of wetlands for many reasons, with wildlife values and natural resource values and that sort of thing. But we only bought properties from willing sellers for the 12,000 acres that we own.
What's an open land trust? Same thing as a easement?
I don't know if I can define the difference.
Real close then?
Yeah, the trust, I don't know if those properties stay with the owners, or they like give it to the trust. I'm not sure how that works.
I don't think I know that finite difference either, but it's the same general concept as you said.
It's a way of protecting the land indirectly instead of, outright purchasing it, And a lot of the properties, like the Nature Conservancy, works real heavily on our conservation easements. And for instance, this property, when it became available, and we knew we were coming in to the partnership here in the Ace Basin project, as usual, the government can't get its act together fast enough in its funding. So the Nature Conservancy, they're pretty well off, and they can come in and purchase the property. They know that we're going to want the property, and we express that desire, and they'll come in and buy the property and turn around and sell it right back to us. And that's how we got this property. It's just a matter of we couldn't get our funding together in time to go ahead and purchase the property to protect it.
So it's good to have people with
Nature
pockets.
Conservancy steps in and goes ahead and works the deal. Any other questions?
Can you go to Jahazi Island?
Technically you can, but we've got it closed to all public use except certain areas are marked and designated and signed during the winter, during the duck season. We allow waterfowl hunting in certain areas. And as a matter of fact, if you're interested in that, this map shows the areas that you can hunt there. We don't have a deer hunt there. We have deer hunts here and hog hunts, archery and muzzleloading. We don't have any shotgun or rifle hunts here.
Okay.
We have a handicap hunt or mobility impaired hunt. We allow those hunters to use centerfire rifles because they're not mobile and they're not interfering with each other, so it's a safety thing.
So you use bow for deer and ball hogs, you said?
Pardon me?
You can bow hunt out here?
Yeah, we during October we have our hunts, our deer hunts, and we allow archery hunting and muzzleload hunting, black powder.
So y'all got brochures on that?
Must be safe.
Yeah, there's a brochure right here, and it's last year's brochure, but if any of you are interested in hunting, each year we print the brochure again, and it's also the permit to hunt.
How much is the permit?
There's no charge for it, and there's no quote on the number of hunters, but we restrict the days that you can hunt. We'll start out with 2 days of bow hunting here, archery, and there's no limit on the hunters. We kill 2 antlerless deer and 1 buck a day, and all the hogs you can
This is in October.
The bonus on the hog.
When did it start? In October?
It's October, and we start with 2 days of archery here, and then we go over on the Cumbie River, and we have 2 days of archery there. And we come back over here, and we have 2 days of muzzleload hunting. And we go back over there and have 2 days of muzzleload hunting. And we come back here for 2 more days archery, and over there 2 more days of archery. And that's the whole month of October that this is spread out.
Okay.
So we kind of alternate. We hunt there and we hunt here, and it gives the deer a chance to kind of settle down.
Cumbie, where's the Cumbie one over here?
You know where River Road is? If you head across what used to be the old steel bridge, but they put a new bridge in there. The next road, if you're heading south on 17 to the right, is River Road, heading toward Yemassee.
Oh, all right.
And we're down there a couple miles, you'll see the signs on either side of the road.
But y'all do there and here? There and here?
Yeah.
All right. I ain't like that, I need to get into that. I'm a hunter.
Always have hunters, don't we? That's good.
That's it.
Yep, and
How about gator hunting? Y'all tag on that too?
we don't allow any gator hunting on the refuge. That's the state, issues those gator tags.
Yeah, they give us tag.
Yeah.
Oh, you know I was coming.
I hear that.
Have you won that lottery?